Welcome everyone. Before we start our session today, let's take a few moments to center ourselves and to foster a sense of safety and connection. So we are going to do a gentle movement exercise which helps us to transition into ventral vagal state, which is ideal for feeling present and engaged. So let's start by finding a comfortable position and feel your feet on the ground and allow your hands to rest softly on your knees in your lap. Now take a deep breath, filling in your lungs completely, and as you exhale, gently turn your head to your right. Then inhale and turn your head back to the center, and exhale and turn your head to the left till you feel the stretch of your neck. Then inhale and come back to the center, and exhale, go to the right, and inhale again, come and exhale to go to the left. Inhale and then exhale. Now take a deep breath in, filling up your lungs completely, and as you exhale, gently turn your head towards your shoulders and go. And drop them as you exhale. Now inhale again, roll up your shoulders towards your ears, and then roll down and exhale. Again, one more time. And exhale as you bring them down. Finally, place one of your hand on your heart and the other one on your belly, on abdomen. And just gently feel the rhythm of your breath rise and fall of your chest. And allow this connection to sync with your heartbeat, thereby signaling to your nervous system that you are in a safe place. Take one more deep breath in and gently exhale and open your eyes if you were closed eyes. And bring your awareness back into the group, feeling more grounded and present. So today our topic is worthiness and self-worth, giving and receiving confidence. And so what we'll do is we'll get a little bit into the psychoanalytic perspective on the worthiness. We'll go into importance of self-value. We will talk about some of the common barriers to self-worthiness, and then pathway forward. And then afterward we'll get into Somatic IFS session, followed by a sound healing. And then at the end of the hour, we will open up for live Q&A, where if you have any questions or any individual needs, you can bring them forward and we'll do it in a group way. So now let's get into the psychoanalytic perspective on worthiness. So the reason we approach this discussion on worthiness would be to unpack some of the unconscious beliefs and early life experiences that contribute to our aspect around self-worth and self-worthiness. And and psychoanalysis shows that our sense of worthiness is actually rooted in our early childhood experiences. For example, a child who is praised for their effort rather than outcome may develop a strong self-worth. And in fact, I saw it with my sister. She was from a very early age praised for her sense of timing, intelligence, or diligence, and I can see she has a higher self-worth. Then over time, we internalize messages from our caregivers, authority figures, our early age teachers, and they shape our view of ourselves. For example, constantly being told that you are smart can create a pressure to always perform intellectually, affecting self-worth, especially when facing challenge. I see it happening with somebody I know very well. She's now having self-worth issues because she's being unfairly treated at her workplace. She's been very successful all her life. Our unconscious beliefs, especially from the early childhood, dictate our feeling of worthiness. For example, a person who has been often criticized may unconsciously believe that they are not good enough. I was criticized a lot as a kid, and of not being on time, of being lazy, and always compared with my sister, and this has deeply affected my sense of worthiness. Now, our defense mechanisms protect us from painful feeling about ourselves, but sometimes they can distort reality. So projection might lead someone to believe others see in them unworthy, even though it is not true. I had a story with my boss who was very insecure, and his personal worthiness was projected to me, and he would often say to me that you're not doing your job seriously, which is contrary to my reality. But I started to believe in it, and I started to work harder on it from that belief. And in relationships, we may transfer old patterns and feeling onto others, influencing their sense of into them, our sense of value into them. For example, classically in partnerships, if there are unresolved parental issues from the past, then you will see that happening a lot. I remember bringing into my own marriage, okay, where I would often trigger my wife's unworthiness issues, okay, and we would end up having silly arguments. Both of us were actually struggling for worthiness issue within ourselves. So I was projecting onto her my own unworthiness issue. So by bringing unconscious belief into consciousness, we can begin to understand and reshape our our sense of self-worth. And this understanding then allows us to move forward with more compassionate view of ourselves, and ultimately leading to more fulfilled, authentic interaction within the world. Now, the importance of self-value. So, self-value is a foundation of our well-being, and it is, for example, somebody with high self-value is more likely to pursue fulfilling opportunity and engage in healthy relationships, and it influences our decision making, our perception of our perception of our own worthiness influences every decision we make. For example, a person who values themselves is more likely to make choices that reflect their true self, what comes from their soul, what comes from their being. It has an impact on relationships. Self-value shapes how we interact with others and how we set and stay within boundaries. So if you value yourself, you are more likely to assert your needs and less likely to tolerate disrespectful behavior. Resilience in face of challenges. Strong self-worth helps us navigate life challenges with resilience. Example, those who value themselves can better cope with failure or criticism, viewing these things as opportunities for growth rather than personal shortcomings. And self-value and happiness go hand in hand, because it's a correlation. There's a very strong correlation between having self-value and overall happiness. Higher self-worth leads to more positive outlook in life and higher levels of self-satisfaction. You will see that when you go through the process of learning about your self-value, self-worth, where it is, and working through it by understanding and enhancing your self-worth, you will empower yourself to live much more authentically and joyfully. Okay. Now, what are some of the common barriers to self-worthiness? So, negative self-talk comes on the top. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, this will erode self-worth. So telling yourself I'm not good enough, even after a small mistake at work, I think it just is something that is most destructive. Making unrealistic comparing yourself unfavorably to others can lead to feeling inadequacy. Social media is just full of that. If you scroll through social media, believing everyone else has a perfect life, we know how the like button creates such a challenge for young women and men. Perfectionism is another one. Striving for unattainable perfection sets you up for feeling of failures. For example, if somebody is feeling worthless because you could not meet an absolute impossible high standard for yourself, okay, then it comes in the way. Past trauma and rejections, okay, early childhood traumas absolutely come in way. For example, if somebody has had bullying as a childhood experience, will absolutely feel unworthiness on a long-term basis. And then fear of failure. One of the biggest thing is that we dread to make mistakes, and we prevent ourselves from taking risks and then feeling incompetent. So, for example, not applying for a dream job for fear of rejection, or not getting into relationship with a good person because fear of another breakup, okay, holds you back. So in summary, feeling unworthiness often stems from internal and external factors, and recognizing these barriers allows us to challenge and change them and pave a way for a healthier self-view. And this is what we are going to do in our session today. Now, classically, always I give a path to the future. And there are 4 steps that I always say in journeys like that, okay, moving forward. So the first one is acknowledgement and awareness. And this helps you to understand your own barriers around self-worth, okay? And identifying patterns of self-negative talk, like consistently thinking I'm not capable, I'm not able to do, I cannot do, I'm not good enough to do, etc., is one of the first things we are going to do. Okay, so and we'll do it in the session as well. The second one is understanding at the origin. So one of the things you will see in the next part of the session is we'll get into where does it come from, when did it start, and understanding from a place of curiosity and compassion helps you to know where it comes from. That allows you to go to the third plus, which is, can we challenge it? Can we replace the negative belief with something more positive? Okay, and we are going to try it in the session today. And then the fourth thing that I always say is repeat, reinforce. So consistently practicing with new patterns and behaviors reinforce a healthy self-worth. And so regularly doing this exercise, what we are going to do, We're going to pick up one aspect, then I would ask you to come back on working on it again and again so that you can form a new self-worth pattern that you can then be much more happy and content with. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into preparing for the session, and I want you to take a pen pencil and just answer to these two questions. If you have already done it before, so just reinforce, and you can make a list. So consider a moment in your life when you felt lack of self-worth that impacted your decision making. What was the outcome and how did it make you feel about yourself? And the second question is, how has the feeling of not being good enough influenced the way you interact in your personal relationships and also in your professional? What has been the impact for you? So see if you can take a moment to write the list, write them down, for both question 1 and 2, and then at the end choose one area that you would like to work in this session. And remember, you'll have the recording, so you can always come back and repeat with the second and the third, or if you have a long list. So now take a moment to take note. Okay, so what we are going to do is to start working on ourselves based on one of the choices you've done. Okay, so see if you can find a comfortable place. Just relax. And ensure that your body is in a position to invite in relaxation. You feel comfortable, and whenever you feel ready, you can always close your eyes. And begin by focusing on your breath. Inhale, exhale, filling in your lungs completely, and then gradually exhaling through your mouth. And as you exhale through your mouth, you're releasing any tension and apprehension that you may have. So continue this breathing. Inhale through your nose and exhale from your mouth, releasing any tension or apprehension. And you continue this breathing, you're anchoring yourself in the present moment. And let's establish your safe anchor related to your topic of self-worth. Now, safe anchor might be a person, a place, a cherished memory, or even an object that symbolizes strength, acceptance, and self-compassion for you. And this is like your refuge, where you can always find grounding, so see if you can find yourself a place, a person, a memory, or an object that is like a refuge for you. Bring it into your awareness. Now see if you can bring into your awareness as well the topic you chose from the exercise you just did about worthiness or doubt that you have been holding on to. Bring it gently into your mind. As you bring it into your mind, just notice if you feel any sensations or even images in your body or around your body. And also observe your emotion or how you feel as you connect to that sensation. Notice your feeling. It can be anger, it can be helplessness, it can be despair. Just notice your feeling. And just acknowledge it. And see if you can shift to becoming curious or even a bit of compassion towards this sensation you have that holds the feeling of unworthiness. Let it know that it doesn't need to overwhelm you, and just acknowledge its presence in your life. So remain in a place of curiosity and compassion as you invite this part that you feel in your body or in an image, invite it to communicate with you and offer reassurance that you are here to understand and support. Take a moment to be curious and compassionate. So focus on the sensation in your body or the image. And ask a question saying, what is your intention for me? What do you want me to know about why you are here in my life? What is your intention? And just listen and acknowledge the response you hear. And just notice that you are still feeling curious and compassionate towards it. And then ask another question. What are you afraid would happen to me? What are your fears? And just notice what you hear. You can further inquire, well, if that happens, then what are you really afraid would happen to me? What is your real fear? And just listen what you hear. What you hear is what it is protecting you from. So see if you can acknowledge with compassion. And now ask how it was when this feeling of unworthiness first started. It will not tell you an age, and then you can always explore what was happening at that time. Stay with a memory or sensation that points to the origin of these feelings. Approach with curiosity and compassion to understand what occurred. And now ask what it needs from you to feel secure and valued. See if you can listen and just acknowledge with compassion. Ask it what it needs from you to feel secure and valued. Welcome this part of yourself that holds this feeling of unworthiness. It may be a vigilant protector, a cautious advisor, or another part of you. Gently acknowledge it and invite into an embrace of your safe anchor space. Now ask it what needs to happen for it to feel safe and relaxed. Now shift your focus in your body that feels grounded and at peace. And imagine extending the strength and serenity of this somatic resource to the part holding unworthiness. Perhaps visualizing a protective light or a reassuring internal embrace. If there are other parts that are rising with their concern, greet them with the same compassion presence and let them know you will work with them. Acknowledge their presence. Now, as you feel a shift towards ease, just express gratitude this part for their courage to come in and be present here with you. See if you can honor their strength and resilience. And slowly bring your awareness to your safe anchor. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel the new space within you. A space where the unworthiness has loosened its grip, making some room for recognition and value. And when you feel ready, just gently open your eyes. Bring yourself into the present moment. Just feeling being worthy in your own skin. And carry this feeling with you as you move towards the next part of the session. And just trust your journey. So we will get into this sound healing. I'll let you come back into your current moment and we'll prepare for this. Okay, so the sound healing, if you're new to this, just to give you context, so the way it works is that we use tuning forks to bring in and understand if there are any blockages within your system into your, as you see the shape, into your torus. And to do that, what you do is first open the two centers, the one above the head, one below the feet, again using tuning forks, and then get into, use a pendulum to know which chakra, energy center we are going to focus today based on your collective affirmation and your need. And then work on that. For example, if you work on the heart, then it also says left side, right side. And then you start from the time of your being conceived, the time you are into this world, and then to your present moment. And using tuning fork, find out if there are any blockages. And I will tell you an age. Sometime it also talks and it says what emotion, what was going on at that time. So I will verbalize all of it. And what you have to do is two things. One is a specific breath. So you breathe in through your nose and you breathe out very forcefully through your mouth. Okay. And the way you do the breath is you imagine when you breathe in, you imagine energy coming from top of your head into your chest. And then when you breathe out, you feel energy leaving and going out of your feet. So you basically open the whole channel. When we'll do the north and south pole, we also open the channel using tuning forks. And then we get into the timeline. I will tell you an age. When you hear an age, all you have to do is to think if there is something that's significant for you at that age. Go into that moment, and I will make you breathe in the same way. And sometime, if it's too strong, and I can also feel, I will also say, release. Okay, so this helps you to process whatever was happening there and to release it out of your system. Okay, and here we go. So I just want you to relax. You can lie down, you can sit, okay, and just follow the tuning fork. Okay, here we go. So we'll start below the feet and then go top of the around the pendulum and then into the timeline. Here we go. So I'll start below the feet now. I'll ask you to take a breath. Yeah, this way, deep one. So I'm about 1 foot below your foot, and I'm pointing the tuning fork towards your backbone. So again, opening the channel. So take a breath. Okay, another breath, and I'm going to ground you. Okay, so now we're going to go to the top of the head and open the channel from top. So I'm pointing from the top of your head down, opening the channel through your backbone and connecting to Mother Earth through your feet. So imagine the sound going through your backbone and down through your feet. Take a breath. Okay, so now what we're going to do is to run a pendulum. So you'll not see anything. I'm just running a pendulum starting from basically your knees, going to the first center, second center, sacral chakra, and solar plexus. So it'll tell me where it wants to work. Heart. Okay. Okay, so it says wants to work on the, just trying to confirm, not yet. It said sacral, saying no. Huh. Okay, knees. Yep. And it says left side. Now knees are representing challenges with attachments and letting go, trust issues, and struggle with job and relationships. Okay, so guess the topic today. Okay, here we go. So it's on the left side of your knees. Okay, so I'm going to go 6 feet out. And you'll hear a different tuning fork now. So the one before was 174 hertz. Now we have 144 hertz. And we're going to start at the time of when you were conceived. And then come in to the present moment. Here we go. So just take a breath. Yeah, two things are coming up, but I'll do one by one at a time. Take a breath. Yeah, the word I'm getting is God or someone very high authority is not in favor. And so I get fear. So it can be a father, grandfather, but also can be feeling of God. He's not on my side. So take a breath. So I'm still at the point of you being conceived. If it is too much, then you can also do okay. Released. Although immediately turned into sadness. And see if you feel that. Again, another breath, another release. Okay, so now there's a joy coming in. Sense of unexpectation, but joy. So now you're about 2 months before being born. Yes, 2 months before. Yeah, fear. There's an event. Not involving you, but somebody in the family, parent, father, that affected the mother and the baby. Yeah, take a breath. Okay, so now you are at the birth, hospital, or wherever you were born. Seems easy. Very early, less than 1.5 year old. And there's something that's coming up there. See if whatever it comes up. It's a mixture of sadness from loss or sense of loss, but also fear immediately. It's affecting the heart and then goes straight into solar plexus or below, second chakra. Release. A 10-year-old. Left shoulder. Left. Yeah. So unable to express. Cannot say the truth. Or is being stopped from being creative. Or creativity being stopped. Pain in left shoulder. Take a breath. Let it go. So 19-year-old anxiety or fear of unknown. There's strange feeling in the stomach, but also in the shoulders. Take a breath. 30 or before 30 or early. Yeah, just at around 30-year-old. A lot of fear from a situation. Released. Okay, so now I'm coming to a point where I'm in the present moment, but moving into your mother life. So her legacy for you. So just send love to her, accepting her who she is. That's all he's saying. Just accept me who I am. Take a breath. Okay, so whatever we have collected, we are going to release it. Let it go. Take a breath. Okay. Okay, just relax. We're going to close the work you've done so that it continues to work for the next 48 hours. Take a breath. We will close with foot 1, 528 hertz. Continue to relax. As we start to conclude our time together, let's take a moment to reflect on what you went through today. Imagine yourself as a tree firmly rooted and growing stronger each day. Visualize your roots reaching deep into Mother Earth, symbolizing your journey of self-discovery and grounding, and allow you to ground you into your inherent worth. Picture your branches extending upwards and outwards, ready to give and receive with the world from a place of abundance and confidence. Now, in these final peaceful moments, set an intention, focusing on your recognition and honoring your values. Now, take a deep breath, filling yourself with self-belief and positivity, and gently exhaling, releasing any remnant of doubts or uncertainty. And when you're ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes. Thank you for your presence and courage today.